Welcome back to another training with John, your performance mindset coach. In today's training, we're going to look at building self-confidence as a leader. So this will be a super helpful training if you're a business owner, entrepreneur, corporate leader, or a manager within your workplace, or looking to develop your own leadership capacity. So as we all know, leadership is a role that we all play in life in some form, whether it's first we have to develop our own leadership of ourselves, but in some form, whether it be in teams, whether it be in sports, whether it be in a business, we will have to play a role as a leader in some form. But a big part of that always comes down to self-confidence, right? How can we build the self-confidence or use our self-confidence to help us become a better leader? So we're going to look at it from the perspective of how to inspire and motivate your team, your employees, or your members, how to influence them. And what I mean by influence them is help them become a better person, help empower them, help them use their strengths so they're be able to bring their best version of themselves to the day and to the job. And how can we really impact others? How can we leave them with that sense of increase? As always, there's a free download in the description, worksheets that you can use for this training. Or if you're watching it on Facebook, just type "hit me" and I will get the training for you. So for some of the problems, indecisiveness, right? The indecisiveness of when we lack confidence, we often have a real sense of the indecisiveness to act on a certain instinct, to make a big decision, because we might worry about how it will affect others, or we worry about how it affects our self-image as a leader. Communication issues. So the inability to be able to communicate effectively with our team members or with our clients or with our prospects, and the inability to impact and inspire. So while you might think you're protecting them by keeping them safe, in fact, you might actually be hindering their actual progress and ascension and performance, because your inability to impact and inspire and do what's really best for them instead of what's easier for you to do. So some of the solutions we can use to become a more confident leader. Number one, self-awareness and reflection. So having the ability to be very self-aware of your strengths, your weaknesses, maybe your areas of deficits, so we can increase them and improve them over time. And to do that, we have to reflect. To be able to highlight those deficits, we have to reflect on our weekly, monthly practices, our areas for growth, so we can put plans in place to actually improve them. Continuous learning and development, that Kaizen approach, that how can I get better 1% every day? And of course, hiring a mentor or coach is going to help you get there faster. Self-awareness, being aware of your strengths and your own deficits, aware of how it projects onto others. So being aware of how your self-awareness projects onto others. Are you carrying certain biases into conversations based off of your own subconscious narrative instead of what's best for that person? Aware of your own subconscious patterns, right? So we all have certain stories, certain patterns related to certain parts of our life or our work, and we can sometimes allow that to cloud our judgment in terms of what's actually the best decision. Learning and education, that Kaizen approach, studying great leaders in the past. What type of leader do you want to be? Who's a leader that really represents confidence for you? And how can you adopt some of their identity, their traits, their personality, and help build that into your own leadership style? Journaling for self-discovery, right? We can journal to self-discover on how we can use our own strengths, because we have things that we've probably suppressed that in fact actually help us become a better leader. Coach. So what's the importance of a coach? Well, of course, they can help us remove subconscious blocks that's stopping us from feeling confident in the first place, overcome any self-sabotage or self-limiting patterns that's slowing us down, and give us the ability to self-regulate, which is going to be important in terms of being an effective leader. So some practical ascension for you. What can you do using this training and implement into your life? Journaling for the self-discovery. Start the practice of journaling your own thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. What's coming up for you on a daily basis? How did you behave today? What's your wins? What's some areas? What lessons did you have? What could you do better? Create a persona, right? So build that identity of the leader that you want to be and start to step into that persona. What type of traits do they have? How do they speak? How do they show up? How is it different to what you are doing right now? Create affirmations built around this persona. So create a couple of positive statements based off of your new persona, and then build affirmative habits around that. So whatever the affirmation is, what's a habit that I can integrate into my daily routine that helps me actually not just affirm this, but actually practice it on a daily basis? So here's your worksheets for today for building confidence. We have our self-discovery worksheets, we have our persona and our affirmations. Reminders, as always, it's a soft skill, so we can improve it. If you feel like you lack confidence, it's something we can certainly develop. Marginal improvements over time, so think of that Kaizen approach, 1% each day. Inner dialogue, so the more we can master our inner dialogue, our inner world, the better we will become in our external world. So that is it for today, folks. Any questions, as always, reach out to me. Always happy to help.